Hey.
Yay! Woo!
It.
Fun little intro.
I
Welcome,
love
welcome,
it.
one and
Thank you,
all.
Shay. Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you, thank you.
thanks everybody for coming today to today's episode of the Wise Agent Society's National Real Estate News. And we have none other than Danielle Thompson out of San Diego, longtime friend and associate. We used to work together at the same brokerage.
Yes, we
She's
did.
actually taught me a lot of cool ideas over the years. And we haven't spoken in a long time. So welcome to the show. I'm really excited to catch up with you.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you for having me. And you have taught me so much over the years. So I'm so happy to see you and that you're doing big things. I love what you're doing. It's amazing. So I'm honored to be on the show. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Those are kind words. I'm excited to catch up with you. I've even seen that you did sold a house in Idlewild, I think.
So it's listed right now.
Listed.
Yes, because you know how the market is right now. We'll get into that. But
Yeah.
it is listed right now. It's a beautiful property, 2 units on one lot. One's a main house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and then the cabin is like 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and just beautiful. So if you want to experience some seasons in California, go up to Idlewild.
Yeah, and I would imagine that would make a good Airbnb too, right?
Yes, yes and no. Idlewild has put some restrictions on short rentals, but long term, yes. And if you have, family members and all that stuff that want to stay up there, absolutely. But they have put some rental restrictions, so that's where we're kind of running into a little bit of, delay.
Yeah. I happen to be great friends with the president of the Association of Realtors in Idlewild. Her name is Paige Macchio.
Really?
We had her on the show not long ago. So if you need any help or guidance with that, she'd be really open to talking to you.
Yes.
She's super cool.
Connection. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. And then her husband is Mike Jepson, who is the broker, managing broker of. Why can't I think of it? Do you know what it is, Tara? I blanked on his brokerage right now. It's a big HomeSmart.
Oh, HomeSmart. So, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a couple of good resources up there if you ever want to chat with them. I could plug you in with them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so thanks so much for coming to the show today. It's really cool to connect, and I want to catch up and learn more about what you're doing. But let's go back to where we first started, or where we first met, which was Keller Williams, Carmel Valley, Del Mar, right?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I met you and your beautiful wife, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Jen. Yeah. I was talking to her. I was like, Danielle Thompson's on my show today. And she's like, no way. I was like, yeah. She's like, tell her I said hi. I said, okay. Well.
Please do. Does she remember the first webinar we had together? We had a webinar. I created a webinar for first-time home buyers. Yeah. And she was my mortgage lender. And that first one was so amazing. But guess what? I forgot to hit record. And so we don't have it.
Oh, no, I remember. Okay, so this was one of the things that I wanted to say that I learned about from you, because you were relatively new at that time, right?
Yes, I think I was, I think I was about 4 years in. If that was, is that 2017? Because I started in 2012.
Well, 2016 or 2017, yeah.
Right. So
probably,
yeah, I was like
closer to 2017. You're right.
Right. So I was
okay. Well, I couldn't remember, but yeah. Well, I remember when you were doing that, and I was like, that is so amazing, so smart. And then I remember you were getting a lot of traction. Like a lot of people came to your webinars, right?
Yeah, it was a great thing. I've always been the type of agent that wanted to teach and educate, because I don't know if you remember, one of the reasons why I got started in real estate was because my grandmother was a victim of predatory lending.
Oh,
and so my goal was to strictly go in and help and be that trusted resource that people know, this agent has my best interest at heart. And that's what I said. Let me help people learn how to purchase a home, and not just help them, educate them. So after the process, they know, what to do. They have more knowledge about it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about you. And I love about your personality is because you really do care about other people, and you were doing things like that to, and nobody else was doing that in our whole office. We had 500 agents in there and nobody was doing like that cool thing. I was just like, wow, this is so cool. And you were getting so much traction. You were so excited about it. And then I know Jen was on the show and stuff. So, I mean, how cool.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. I always, we have to think outside the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we're in this business, and see how we can cater to the people that need our help.
Yes.
So thank you for that, Shay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a giving person and trying to help people as much as you can, because that's what it's all about. Right. That makes the best and most successful realtors. As I say often on the show, we come from contribution and really just try to help people reach their goals and have better lives.
Yeah. Bring value.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then I became a broker in 2019.
That's exactly what I was going to say next. So you transitioned from Keller Williams. Did you go straight to your own brokerage, or did you do a pit stop in EXP? Or
I've been to all the brokerages. There's no shame in my game. It wasn't to jump around because of money and all that stuff. I was really determined to make sure, like, do I know this business? Am I getting all the knowledge? Like, maybe I can learn from another one. So it wasn't until 2019 that I became a broker. I decided, okay, I'm ready to do it on my own.
Yeah, which that was another thing that you taught me, was that you can do that. And you're a, what do you call it? A one-person brokerage, right? It's not like a giant brokerage. It's a single agent brokerage, which minimizes your fees and tell me just a little bit about that. Remind me, because when you told me, I was like, you can do that?
So I am a one-woman show right now. And it was because, I have visited all of these brokerages, and I always wanted to, like, if I decided to have agents hang their license with me, I wanted to be able to give them something of value, right? Do something more than what we've seen and experienced in the business. But just doing it myself, it reduces the, this somewhat.
Well, right. I mean, there's still stress, but I mean, maybe you don't have the stress of a whole bunch of other people.
Right. The liability. I'll say the liability, right? Because we do have to still be responsible for them. And I'm just able to dedicate more time to your clients, the clients and all that stuff. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good thing to have a small team, and I still have my transaction coordinator. I have the team around you to get everything done. But I just decided that I wanted to,
do your own thing, have your own branding, right?
Yeah.
And build your own. Well, one thing that me and all the challenges I've gone through with branding, I always thought that was like this. That's the ultimate freedom. What you're doing now is the freedom to brand however you want. You're your own broker,
right?
Brokerage,
right? Own company. I've always wanted to own my business since I was a kid. I didn't know it would be in real estate though.
Yeah. Well, who knew? I thought maybe I'd be an artist or a comedian, but here we are.
Because you are funny, Shay.
Well, funny looking, but I do what I can. No, I like to have fun, and in everything that I do. So we I push the boundaries of appropriate as much as I can.
I love it though. I love it. That was one of the things that I loved about you when we met. You're just a fun guy.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. So you've been your own broker. Remind me. Okay, so it's Trison Rocco Investments, or what's the name of the brokerage?
Yeah, everyone always does that. So it's Trison Rocco, and what I did was take the patriarchs and the matriarchs, the last names in my family, and combined it into one triplet. Thompson, Roebuck, Cole, Trison, Rocco. Because I'm like, if I'm going to have a company, a real estate company that's going to hold up with the big guys, it can't be Honeybee Real Estate.
Yeah. Is that what it was before? Is that what you called it?
I never named that. I just said that because that's what we called my grandmother, Honey. But you know what I mean? It's, sweet. I'm like, no, we're solid. I want to be able to stand up with the big guys.
Yep. I like it. No, I feel like you have a good grasp on marketing and image and that stuff. So that's very cool. So you've been doing that since 2019. That means you've been doing it almost 5 years.
Yes.
And how are things with your business now. So you're working in. So you're in San Diego. I don't know if that
Yes.
says it at the bottom. So that's what we want to talk about. Is you're in San Diego. You've been in San Diego the whole time for real estate, right?
Yes. Yes.
And do you have a focus on a certain area, or tell us about who you work with in general?
I know
Or is it everybody?
It's everybody. I know in real estate we're supposed to like have a set area, but the way my clients were set up, it was the need of the client.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I cater to where the need is.
So do you like sell in a certain area more or less, or maybe just rattle off a few areas that you've sold in?
El Cajon, La Mesa,
mm-hmm.
all the way in Paris. I've done one in Sacramento. Paris, California.
Yes. Yeah, Paris, France.
Right. In France.
No, Paris, California, right. P-E.
Right.
P-E, not P-A.
Yeah. All over San Diego County. Yeah. North County was where I got my first start, where I sold my first home in Poway.
Okay.
Done a few there. North County, South County, Chula Vista, of course.
Yep.
Like I said, El Cajon.
Yeah.
And I don't have it in front of me, but I've sold all over.
No, yeah. No, that's the same with me. And you're right. A lot of people in San Diego specialize in maybe one hyper-local area, or, a very small, maybe a couple little pockets of areas in an area. But I was the same way. I mean, I did Ramona. I did
Alpine.
Chula Vista. Alpine, yeah, there you go. North County, South County, Claremont, Del Mar, you name it. I did all of them too. So that's fine. I think that, personally, I like it that you can diversify and meet different kinds of people. And to be honest, I love working all over the county because I would drive there for whatever reason for clients, and I'd get to go to like my favorite little restaurants in those areas.
Oh, yes. I'm a foodie, right?
Yes, you're the what do you call it?
The culinary broker.
Culinary broker, yeah. I love that graphic you have where it's half a chef suit and half a real estate.
Yes, that's two things that I love. Yeah,
me too.
So I ended up in Idlewild with that listing because of past clients. A lot of my business came from past clients and doing repeat business with them. And they had an investment property that they've had since like 2005, 2006.
Oh boy.
And they were like, we want to sell this property now because they've bought in other areas. And said, well, we're ready to sell it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So.
Heck yeah, that's cool. I have never been to Idlewild. I don't know why, but I just never have. And it looks beautiful, though.
It is. I went to go take a look and get a view of everything, and it's a beautiful place. I have not stayed in Idlewild before, but I do like when you can go and camp and experience different seasons. So I think it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's a little mountain town, right? And probably sleepy and trees, lots of trees. Mountain, little mountain town.
Yes, very correct.
And what, like an hour? Is it an hour, or is it 2 hours from San Diego?
It's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours, yeah. It's 39 minutes from Hemet if you need to.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Right. But in the smack dab in the middle of the mountains.
Absolutely. And can I say this? Driving up there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so not a fan of the windy roads up there. And they're small.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Did you get car sick, or just
no car sick? No,
just nervous.
Sick. Just nervous. I'm like,
Yeah, that's like when you go up to the Sequoias or to Big Bear. Even all of that has those steep, windy roads, which I've done when it's been like white out snowing at the same time while you're driving.
You're very brave.
And Jen's like over here, like, ugh.
Right. I cannot. I have to be honest. I would have to be passenger princess. But even then, I'm still like nervous. It's
nerve-wracking.
It is.
Yeah. If I was in the passenger seat, I wouldn't be able to do it. I get car sick so easy. I'm a wuss. I have to be driving. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're the forever passenger princess then. I love that.
Yeah. So let's see here. So San Diego, basically it's like everywhere else in the country, which we hear a lot about low inventory, high interest rates. And when we're talking California and San Diego, we're also hearing a lot about people leaving because affordability is low. Like everybody's been talking for the last 2 or 3 weeks, whenever the article came out that San Diego is the least affordable city in the country, right? By I don't know what measure, but I mean, it makes sense. But so maybe let's get into a little bit about the San Diego market overall, like about those points, and then we can go into some data.
Okay. Well, the median home price right now is $840,000.
$840. What's the? Do you know the average? The mean, not the median.
The median.
Just curious. If you don't have it, that's fine. But I thought it was at least $1 million.
It's probably up there. You know, listen. I don't debate that it's one of the most expensive cities. We are. Sure. We really are. So I don't have the median in front of me, but I do believe that it. No, the median price I still have. Yeah, $839.
Yeah, for the median. Yeah. No.
Yeah. But the average, you need the average. Yeah, I don't have the average.
No, it's okay. I was just curious. Most people talk about the median anyway. I just like to hear the crazy million number, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, 840 basically is the median. Mm-hmm. And what else? What, like days on market and all that?
So I know the official data. I mean, I have it here, but it's always gonna be longer on the market right now because of what we're up against. We have the high interest rates, we have the higher price, right? Mm-hmm. So if that's going to reduce the purchasing price of our buyers, of course the homes are going to sit a bit longer. Mm-hmm. And then now we're coming into the holiday season. So then the only people out here shopping are the ones who are very serious. That rule still plays. So I know for my listing, if I'm going, even though it's in Idlewild and it's considered Riverside County, that we've been on the market for 52 days.
Okay. Yeah. And I think they go, quite a while, especially in Idlewild, depending.
Right.
Depending on the situation, I think. Right. And I don't know what the average stuff, we could pull up charts and stuff too, but, I was going to tell you just some random stuff, data about San Diego in general, but everywhere. Yeah. And here's the funny thing is this is data from Jeremiah Taylor. You remember him?
Yes, I do.
From Keller Williams. So this was from probably 2017 or 18. Okay. So these numbers aren't right, but it'll give you the picture of how it works when you're talking about quarters of the year and people are thinking about when's the best time to list. That's a lot, big question about, especially coming into the holiday season and stuff. Right. Well, so basically the busiest quarter is the second quarter and the most active quarter is the second quarter. And did we freeze? Did we lose Danielle? No. Let's see if she can bounce back. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It froze. Sometimes it does.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's not the first time though, so I don't know that it's 100% you. It might just be the software.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're talking second quarter is the most active quarter.
Yes.
Fourth quarter is the least active quarter.
Yes.
So it's not better or worse. It's just different, and I'll tell you real quickly why. Mm-hmm. In the second quarter, where everybody thinks is the best time to list, right? Mm-hmm. It's something like, let me think here. 16,000 homes are listed, and approximately 9,000 of those sell. Something like that, right? So your list to sell ratio isn't very good.
Right.
Okay. And in the fourth quarter, and this applies everywhere, but this is just the numbers for this particular year in San Diego.
Yes.
The fourth quarter, though, it was something like 9,000 houses were listed and 7,000 of them sold.
Okay.
So the list to sell ratio in the fourth quarter is much higher.
Yes.
It's way more efficient as far as, what that also tells you is that in the second quarter, there's tons of people coming through not buying your house. There's lots of people looking at it, but they're tire kickers, right?
Yep. And
not only that, but there's a ton of competition as far as buyers go. And it's also as far as listings go, right? Because there's a ton of listings, way more listings competing for your buyers.
Yes.
At that time. In the fourth quarter, the chances of selling the house are much higher, and you have way less competition.
Yep.
And then the difference in the price in that time, if you sell in the fourth quarter versus the second quarter, was, I want to say it was 1%. Okay. So it was like $3,000 to $5,000 or something. I don't know if that makes if the math is right, but it was something like $5,000 or maybe it was $5,000 to $10,000. Maybe that makes more sense. Difference in total price, whatever it was. If you're selling it for $1 million plus, then that's not that huge of a deal.
Right.
And that was the average. So some didn't take a hit at all, and some maybe did more. It's just the average. So anyway, when we're talking fourth quarter versus second quarter, so when you're talking to, or when I would be talking to sellers, I would just give them that data. I was like, so honestly, all the times are a good time to buy. It's just going to look different, or sell. It's just going to look different.
Right. Yes. You know what? I agree with you, Shay, because that is the number one question we get. Is it the right time?
This time of year. Oh,
yeah. Well, just in general, as an agent, right? We get that question. So I love how you break it down and how we have that information, because it's like, listen, it's always going to be a right time for you. Just gauge on which quarter you want to buy in at this point.
Yeah.
So I like that.
That too. Plus, you had said, that the people that are out looking and buying during the holidays, where everybody's super busy with family stuff and traveling, and those people are going to be super serious. They probably have to buy, or they have to sell, like whatever. Right. There's way more serious people involved. That's why I was talking, it's more efficient in the fourth quarter. Times.
I agree. Because they're not just looking around. They're shopping and getting stuff ready for the holidays. And it's like, no, we have to buy. So I like that. Yes,
ma'am.
Now, I did pull out some data for us so that we can find the average.
Okay.
So this source said the average price in San Diego, the home value, is at $846.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I was thinking it was around $1 million. So maybe, you know what? Actually, I'm sure it's gone down, because I think nationally prices are down almost 20% on average.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I knew they would be coming down, though.
Can we don't really have a choice?
Real quick, can we talk about how everything was skyrocketing? I'm so like, I'm such a different agent.
Yeah, but say why. Maybe what are your thoughts on why everything was skyrocketing, and then maybe why it isn't now, which you already mentioned interest rates, but what are the differences between then and now?
When I was in that market, and I'm seeing all the, so let me just, this is my off the wall opinion.
Love it.
So, we're, fighting against the good interest rates, because we knew they were going to be creeping up, right? But the buyers were also playing a part in pushing those prices up, because they're dropping $100,000 plus over the value of what a home was worth. And I'm like,
over appraised value.
Yes, over the appraised value.
Appraisal gap, not over list price, which was probably made up anyway.
Right. And I'm like, I was telling my clients, listen, I advise against that. Don't ever pay more for a house than what it's worth. Now, for the listing side, I did the appraisal gap and all that stuff. If the buyer was willing to accept it, that's one. Because you when you're listing, it's one thing, but you're still being ethical about it all. Of course. Then the buyer side, it's like, we have to be smart. You guys are going to have to pay for this mortgage, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a case by case thing. You need to look at their whole situation and say, here are the risks, or here's the pros, cons. Pros are you get a house. Cons are you start off upside down, $50,000 or $100,000. And if the market should shift, well, which it has.
Yeah.
So maybe people that bought a year ago or 2 years ago, they could be sitting on negative equity right now.
Oh, they absolutely are.
If they have a low interest rate.
Right. But is it worth it? Because now
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You don't chase that. So I would do videos about all of this stuff, and I called it out. I knew this was going to happen, because now we're seeing foreclosures roll out.
They're rising. I don't know the percentage, but
Yeah, yes, because at first you couldn't find too many on there. Short sales and foreclosure, you couldn't find too many. Now they're slowly rolling out. I'm seeing those.
Which is sort of silly just because everybody's sitting on a pile of equity. The average in the country is $200,000. I bet you San Diego is close to double that.
Right, I agree. But are these the ones who bought more home and couldn't afford it, right?
If they bought them in the last couple of years, they might be in trouble. Yeah.
Right. Not the ones that 2019 was good, right? Those are the ones sitting on a lot of equity. But if the ones that just bought and they weren't really intentional about their purchase, right? Then maybe those are the ones that are falling into foreclosure right now, unfortunately. Because I also read, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I also read that after, everything was going on because of the pandemic, and that's another reason why the things were being skyrocketed. They were they're disappointed in their purchase. They didn't like what they were purchasing. So it's like, not only did you make a rash decision about purchasing, you paid more for what it's worth. And now you've gotten yourself into this situation to where you owe more on the house than what it's actually worth.
Yep. It's kind of like FOMO, right? It's funny how the market reacts, because right now is actually a really good time to buy.
Yes, it is.
If you can financially responsibly take care of the interest rate for now, because that will probably go down at some point. We don't know when, but interest rates go up and down.
Right. It's a cycle.
Right now, prices are down though. So prices are down now, and competition is zero. I mean, it's compared to if the interest rates go down, then what happens?
Right. Then it's going to be a frenzy again, because they're like interest rates. Because that's the thing. That's why they need us, right? They need us because they need to understand when to do this. They're looking at the wrong data and making their action, their decisions based off of that, instead of, look, now you have nothing but time and space to go and look to find the perfect home for you. And nobody's
doing negotiating power.
Yes. Do you remember when the sellers were saying, no, we're not going to do closing costs? The home builders, they weren't giving us any commission. And I was so not taken back, but I'm like, you guys, that it's going to change, right? This is just a cycle. I can't believe that they were acting like that.
The new builders drive me nuts all the time, because I don't know why they don't just go in the middle of the road instead of, when times are tough for them, they offer crazy incentives and all this stuff and give everything away. And then when things are good, they just cut realtors out. Why not just go in the middle? Why not just be even keeled the whole time, build good relationships with realtors that are helping bring clients in to, why not just go in the middle of the road? It's just silly.
It's common sense to me.
Yeah, but maybe I don't understand something there too. Maybe that wouldn't work, but it sounds logical.
I want to say, listen, you and me both, because we bring business to them. So why would you want to cut all ties? And they were pretty nasty about it too. So it's like, but then they turned around and was like, oh, here's some incentives once things got hard.
Right now they're paying well, and they're not only that, but they're buying down rates for people. You can get in the 5s pretty much all day at new builders right now, 5%. Even though, did you see rates today? They've gone down quite a bit more. So I use this one credit union here, and I'm in Iowa right now, and it's 6.685, 6.625.
Oh, we're getting down now. Okay.
Yeah. Now that's extremely low for anywhere in the country. I haven't seen anybody that low without points, because this is without points. It beats everybody in this area that I'm in too, in Eastern Iowa. So, but still, if it goes down to 6, people are going to start going nuts.
Oh, they are.
It's trending down right now. I don't know how long that's going to last, but
if
it goes to 6.5 and then 6.25, holy cow! I'll buy a house, another house.
Listen, I'm going to get into it
before it gets too low.
Yeah, I see the lowest one I'm using Bankrate at 6. That's the lowest one so far.
Yep, 6.6. What I say, 6.625. Yeah. So
I think that's good.
It's pretty good. I mean, that's about what it was a year ago when I bought the house that I'm sitting in right now.
See, people do too much rate shopping. and the rates are going to change. They don't what I try to teach my clients is the cycle. This is a cycle of real estate, right?
Yep.
We'll see things go up, we'll see things go down, but learn how the cycle, know about the cycle, because interest rates now they're going down. Then they'll go, it's just a cycle. Come on.
And it's also like, how long are you really going to live in your house? So when people talk about rate buy downs, which are a great idea, a great strategy, but what you need to do is sit with your realtor and go over, okay, so if you pay $15,000, if you get a credit for $15,000 to buy down your rate on a 3-2-1, but you're not going to live there for so long, maybe you don't need the 3-2-1, maybe you just need a 2-1 buy down. Right. And then you take some more of that money to get new carpet in the house or something. But then conversely is when people are talking about, well, I want $15,000 off the purchase price. Well, if you're going to own that house for 30 years and stay there the whole time, this is going to save you this much money. But if you're not, chances are, and your monthly payment will go down by like, I don't know, $25 a month or something over a 30-year period, whatever it is. Right. And then, or you could get the rate buy down now and save $300 a month on your payment, for example. Those are just loose examples, but
that's why we need you, Shay. We got to educate them. They don't know. If they're just going to listen to the news all day, they should be a wreck listening to the news. It's like, turn it off.
I try not to too much, because the funny thing is too, I think it's hilarious that people think the news is trying to get them and trying to whatever. I'm like, listen, the news is trying to get money. That's all they're trying to do. We live in a capitalistic country. It's where you make money by giving people what they want. So that's all they're doing is giving stuff. They're not going to tell you about news that doesn't make money or doesn't make a stir.
It's business.
It's ratings. It's business. It's money. Yeah.
Yes.
They're not trying to get you. They're just trying to get you money.
Right. Right. That's a good. That is so true. That's so
cool.
True.
So you have some charts you want to throw up?
Do you want to throw those up? Okay. So I got this from one of my good friends. I haven't seen him in a while. Jared Kelly. You know who Jared Kelly is?
Yeah. My wife worked for him after the Keller Williams days. By the way, I don't think I told you, but she is now, right now I think she's vice president at Keller Home Loans at Mutual of Omaha. So Keller Home Loans sold to Mutual of Omaha.
Yes.
Well, it was Keller Mortgage at the time, and she was a director there. She keeps moving her way up. And then they didn't take any other executives with except her. And then they promoted her to VP. And so they have some senior VPs from Mutual overseeing her stuff. Well, then they're like, well, you're amazing. So I think they're going to make her a senior VP here soon. And then she's running that whole division at Mutual of Omaha.
Yes.
So
congratulations. I'm so proud of her. That's amazing.
Me too. She's a big boss lady. She's in the office next door. She's just always on Zooms and making decisions and
handling business.
Yep. Handling business like a boss for real. Like it's impressive.
Yes. I love that. Yeah. You know how I met Jared?
How did you meet him? I love that guy.
I know he's so awesome, right? We met, I want to say at a Starbucks, right? I was working with another company and another lender, and we had an impromptu meeting at Starbucks.
Okay. Yeah. I've gone to some lunches and stuff with Jared. I love it. He picks good places.
No, I think I'm trying to think because I know we were having a meeting. I was with another lender that I used to work with. And I can't remember if we just bumped into each other at Starbucks. Oh. And that's how we met.
Maybe. And he's such a smiley, nice guy.
Yes. And we did a video about smile. Yeah, he really is.
Oh, that's funny. He used to own his own brokerage, real estate brokerage, and then he went to the lender side. I forget where he is right now. Do you remember the company he's at now?
It says, Barrett Financial Group. So he has his own.
Barrett. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Oh, I know that Barrett. Yeah.
So you got some info from him?
Yeah, I liked his data because he was talking about, I always like real news. And I like that he was saying how many listings and all that stuff that we have available that he actually counted by one of his, this is from Brian Daly though, but it's with Barrett Financial Group.
Should we have her put up? Yeah. Is this the right one?
Yeah. I mean, I gave you a few.
Yeah.
He was talking about how the SDAR have about 6,000 homes on the market, and it's technically only like 5,200.
Mm-hmm.
It went on the back. I was like, where's my...
So this goes back to November of last year. Let's see here. January. So this goes back almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And our active real estate inventory.
Yes.
So went down.
Can I turn on a light? Am I messing things up?
You can turn on whatever you want. Yep.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that's way too bright.
It's not bright. No. You have the best lighting. Normally I have the sunshine, and it's a little gloomy today.
If you could see, I have a bunch of lights around me, like these, for example. Okay. This one's not on, but I have two of them right in front of me, right in front of my face.
I'm like, I need some light. But anyway,
you should take some of these. I'll give you the link to them if you want.
Okay.
They're not too expensive.
A big one, but yeah. Okay, so active inventory.
Yep.
Well, this is just to try to show you what's going on right now, but we're still and have always been low on inventory for a while now. And that's because we're behind in building the required amount that we're supposed to build each year. And it's been like that since before 2019.
Yeah, I would say it probably started during the meltdown, the recession. Mm-hmm. Builders got freaked out and they stopped building spec homes, and they stopped building homes before they were sold because they all got stuck with like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of them.
Right.
So what was that? That was a long time ago. 2000. Well, it all happened 2007, right?
Right. Ish, I was doing loans around that time. You know that? I did loans.
I didn't know that you did loans.
For like a year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. 2007.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I mean, since then, and then how long ago was that now, right? So
that's almost 17. Like 15 years ago or something?
More than that. And just think, they haven't built enough homes in that time. And then people are surprised. Yeah, almost 20 years. People are surprised that there's no inventory. And here's what I keep telling people is that will never catch up. Inventory is going to continue to go down. So buy some now before you just can't.
Right.
BlackRock and Blackstone and all those places are going to own all the houses, and you're only going to be able to rent them.
Right. Just buy. I think people get stuck with
responsibly. Don't just buy for the heck
of it. Right. Not like they
plan with your realtor. Meet with Danielle and go over your options, see what makes sense. But
yes. I think people get stuck with analysis paralysis.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. So this looks like 3 years ago. The arrow is confusing to me because shouldn't the arrow be pointing the other way?
The other way.
Maybe he was trying to explain something there, but it looks like inventory was down like a few years ago during the pandemic, and then it spiked a little bit there.
Right.
And then back down, and then
I guess they're just trying to show that it's slowly increasing. I don't know why they have the arrow.
Yeah, I guess it was the lowest there during December of last year, maybe.
Yes.
And then inventory starting to creep back up. Let's go to the next slide.
The next slide. Yeah, let's go to the next one. The pending solds. Okay, so they have it going the opposite way, but I see what they're doing.
I wonder if this thing is like mirrored.
Because on I printed it out as well. They have it going backwards. That's what they did. Listen, I can't. Maybe this is not the right one to put up, but.
Well, we can change this one too. What's the next one, Tara?
Change it.
Let's get one that would make sense. Yeah, these. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This one looks like the right direction.
Let's see. I might have cut off. Okay. So
this is days on market. DOM.
Yeah, the days on market is going up.
Average.
They're not as bad as it was last year. Where we're at, it's gone down a little. No, it's going up. I don't know.
It's going up, but it looks like we were way down there in 2022. Who knows what that was? January or something, right? October.
This is January. Yeah, these are going from the different Januaries from 3 years ago, from 2020 to 2023.
Mm-hmm. And then it spiked in probably probably December, January of 2022, and then went way down during the summer, which makes sense. And then now we're in October and it's creeping back up again, which that's what happens. Days on market goes up seasonally,
right?
Too, with that whole, when we were talking about market activity, the most active quarters,
right?
So yeah, that's
those. Yeah, we can go on to the next. I sent you all of those. Okay.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Like,
median price per square foot.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. From 2020, $350 a square foot to almost $600 a square foot.
Yes.
In 2022, and then dipped, and then going back up. And
this kind of reminds me of what the S&P looks like. That's why everything is just a cycle. If you pay attention to the patterns, then you'll have a good idea to be able to predict what's going to happen next.
Yep. And you know what's crazy about this too is this is the average. The average is by no means close to what's possible, like in super desirable areas of San Diego. So like Del Mar, La Jolla, Rancho Santa Fe, any of them. You could even say Encinitas, you could say PB or Bird Rock, whatever. Any of the more desirable places, they're selling more upwards of $1,000 a square foot. That's easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy in San Diego. So or more.
On the water too. You know what I mean? These are by the water. This is what sells San Diego. So
yeah, this includes all the East County stuff that's basically desert.
Right.
So yeah, it gets way higher than this.
Yeah, I agree.
Because people are probably looking at this like $600 a square foot. That's insane. It's like that's tip of the iceberg insane for San Diego.
Like the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
like
anything North County and then anything by the ocean.
Mm-hmm. You want to go to the next one?
I was like, how many more did I get? No, we can go to the next one. You going to talk about the 10-year Treasury?
Well, I don't know if I can explain this chart.
No.
30-year bond auction. This is good lender stuff. We were just talking about this a little bit on Tuesday with my friend Michael Vestudo. He's an agent in Las Vegas, but yeah, I don't know if I can explain the 30-year bond versus
the interest rates and all that stuff, and I think that's too technical for
us lay people.
Listen here. If you're pointing to me, pointing to you, you're pointing to me too. So
okay, what's all this good stuff? Okay. Loan balance 20% down. Oh, this is interest rate payment difference, it looks like.
Yes. So from January 2023, excuse me, sorry, I'm looking at my paper right here. That's not news. I gotta act like I'm doing the news report. So it's just talking about the median home balance, median price with the loan balance when you do 20% down, and then the interest rates on that, and your principal and interest payments, and then your PITI, and what you can expect for your annual total expense.
So look at this. Let's look at January of 2023, and you go to your Well, go to your PI monthly or your PTI monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, am I on the right line? It's like $3,700 for PI principal and interest,
Right.
and PITI is 4,623. And
Yes.
then let's go up to October, and that's with a 6.2% interest rate. And then we go up to 7.62. It's $1,000 more a month for both of them.
Yes.
But that's interesting.
Yeah.
From
and
6
the price
to 7.
You see how the price, where the price is as well.
Yes, and the price too. Yep.
And the interest rate's gone up 7.6. Whew.
So that's how that looks with appreciation of the homes and the increase in the interest rate only by about 1.5 or 1.25 or so.
But that's if they're putting 20% down. How many buyers are putting 20% down?
Right. Well, then their payment's going to be even much more, although their interest rate might be a tiny bit lower with the FHA loans. And then what's the high balance? Do you know the high balance FHA loan in San Diego right now?
I don't have that data in front of me.
I think it's about $1 million. I know it is. It's probably high nines or something, which is not normal for the rest of the country. The rest of the country for conventional loan, I can't even think of it right now. 400.
What are the prices in Iowa?
What now?
What's the home prices in Iowa?
Well, the average in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, for the whole place is, I think, 189,000 ish. Now, for like the little area I live in, it's called Fairfax, Iowa. It's a tiny suburb. Well, I mean, it's like 3,000 people, but it touches I can pretty much see the border of Cedar Rapids here, so it's not like, but it has its own little post office and a little bar and like a bank, and that's about it. And then 7 minutes away is Target and Cedar Rapids and all this stuff. Okay, so the average or the median, I don't know which one it is, but it's like 189,000 is the average. But for where I live in this particular area, it's 400 and something, like 425,000.
And I bet you have a pretty huge house.
It's 3,000 square foot, so huge for San Diego. Maybe not so huge for Las Vegas, where I've owned a lot of homes there too.
Right.
In the 4,000, 4,500 and up range,
Right.
For decent prices. But those are like unaffordable now. It's hard to find something like that with like a half acre for under $1 million in Vegas, for example.
Right.
So, yeah, but that does make a huge difference in affordability, because when we're talking about 7% of something, 700% of 200,000 or 400,000 is way different than 2% or 7% of $1 million or 2 million or 100 or 1.5.
Right.
So all this is pretty interesting data.
Yeah.
Percent of medium income. You see that on the far right? So when we're talking January of 2023, if I'm on the right line, it's about 40%, which is still high.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, they talked about 30% of your income should be about what you would spend on a home.
Now it's gone, and now in October it's gone all the way up to 50%.
Yeah, and
so that's so high.
But in San Diego, I don't know if this is a national average. I don't know if this is San Diego, but
this is San Diego supposedly.
Okay, well, and that's average, because I know that some people are paying more than that, like even 65% I've heard in San Diego. And like, for example, if you have two incomers, this is not knocking San Diego. I'm just saying that it's striking the numbers. There are plenty of people that can afford to live in San Diego. There are still people lined up to buy these houses. We're just talking about numbers and data and all that.
Because it's still, I don't think you should ever allow stuff like this to run you out of a city.
No. We love San Diego. We still love it. We just sold our last house there in Claremont.
I remember you.
But it was.
I think that's the last time we spoke.
Well, that was like 5 months ago. Did we talk 5 months ago?
Okay, not 5 months ago. Maybe it was last year. Remember, we spoke about this. I remember that you guys were selling the home in Claremont.
Maybe we didn't, because we thought about it more than one time, and then we ended up renting it.
Okay.
Which it was renting for like almost $5,000 a month.
I believe
for
it.
3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I mean, it was really nice, but it was a 1170 square foot, 6,000 square foot lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did have our full hookup RV parking on one side and boat parking on the other side. So it had some cool stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
still $5,000 a month to be, but it was like, 10, 12 minutes from the bay.
Okay.
10, 12 minutes from downtown ish. Cause it was right by the 163, right by the 805. It was right by everything.
Accessible. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to go to the next slide?
I have a question. I think that's all the slides that I sent.
Okay.
Are we going to briefly touch, because I know our time is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Like, this is too amazing, Shay. But are we going to touch on what's happening in the real estate news?
As far as like Association of Realtors? Yeah. Let's do. Let's do. How about you talk about that for a few minutes, and then we can summarize stuff. But we have been talking about this, and it's big news. So what's your take on it?
Can I be? Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't need permission. I'm sorry.
Please do.
I think it's ridiculous. I understand where they're coming from, but here's my take on it. People should not be buying a home without representation at all.
Right.
So to whoever wasn't disclosing that up front and really breaking it down and being transparent, that's unfortunate because this did arise. But to not want to pay for people actually doing work, I don't understand why we take so many hits as agents. And we're actually, we put 40 plus hours over into work with showing, sometimes showing property and things like, unless it closes, you don't get paid.
Right. So oftentimes you put in tons of work and don't get paid for years.
For years.
I've worked with clients for 3-4 years, no problem. And they buy with somebody else or do something with somebody else, whatever. Absolutely. And I'm just like, it's just the way it is.
They're talking about the 6%. I'm like, okay, well, be glad. It's not, it's always said up front. It's not 6%. This is just what's,
well, everybody gets to pick what they want to charge. So all realtors, and it's all negotiable.
I was going to say it's always negotiable.
They hammer that into us because this is antitrust and all that kind of stuff. Language from day one. Nobody has ever been like, that's been a number one topic. They say, listen, you can't say that there's a set standard commission. You can't say there's a set standard anything. Super illegal. You can't do it. So I don't know who would be out there doing it when that's all they talk about. It's
in the test. It's what's
I was gonna say, sorry to interrupt you,
go
but
ahead.
My buddy had a really good point, and I still don't know why they haven't done it. It's insane. Why hasn't NAR at a national level required a disclosure put in place that everybody signs, buyers and sellers, spelling out that commissions are negotiable? And that, all that language that is the issue. Like, we have disclosures for everything.
Every
single thing. Yeah, what? Easy fix. Boom, we're done.
That's
it. I mean, too little, too late, but yes.
Listen, it's negotiable. So it's like, do you want to pay 7, 8, 9, 10, 20%? You know what I mean? That's getting ridiculous, right? I mean, even lawyers, and I know that's a whole different profession, they'll do it pro bono for you, but if you win the case, you have to pay them 33 1/3%.
Yep, you pony up. Now, so here's the thing. So if these class action suit folks, which they did won, they're appealing and whatever, but then now they've filed tons of other suits. And by the way, did you see that they're now suing individual teams? Like big teams at different brokerages. Wherever the Loken team is, which I've heard of that before, was just named as a class action suit.
Wow.
Target, whatever you call it.
I've been staying up to date on it, but I missed that one. I haven't seen that.
I think I literally read it last night.
Wow.
And so I was like, wow. But anyway,
I think it's so unfortunate. Yeah.
I agree. But I mean, I also think that our representation for the NAR and whoever, A, should be more proactive in getting in front of this stuff. Yes. And B, should have explained this in a much better way, showing, all the different ways that people structure all of this. I think it could have been argued and handled better. So maybe we'll have better representation and appeals and whatever, because I don't think they explained what really happens. Now, here's the other thing. So to your point where basically if they're saying, hey, you have to pay for your buyer's representation yourself, right? The buyers out there have to come up, figure out how to find $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. What, it doesn't even matter what, however much money it is, they got to come up with that up front and pay their people. And then that would incentivize them to not work with a buyer's agent and go straight to the listing agent, right?
Right.
And then there's dual representation there, which isn't even legal in all states. So some places it would work, some places it wouldn't. In the places that it would work, what that means is that there's two ways, right? So the listing agent can either do dual representation, which means nobody gets fiduciary duty. Nobody's interests are held buyer or higher or being taken care of above all other things. So it reduces the protection and liability for everyone on that case. Okay. And I'm not saying it's bad, good, whatever. It's just what it is. People do it all the time, and that's fine. Well, I mean, it's neither here nor there. That's another debatable topic. But the other way is to have the buyer unrepresented. Totally. So they just don't get representation at all. So they sign an unrepresented buyer disclosure form. And then the listing agent is just taking care of the seller, and the buyers get no representation. And that's where it was years ago before buyer's representation even existed. It was all seller representation, or seller represented both people somehow. So I don't think it's, honestly, I don't think it's going to get there. I don't think we can go backwards.
No, we only need to go forward. So it's like, how do we make this a little bit better? But I don't think if unless the buyers are, have the money to do so, we're kind of limiting those who truly want to purchase a home and can't do that. They're like, now I have to pay this. I don't think that it works in favor of the buyers.
Nope, I agree. And so that's what I'm saying is there's going to have to be another solution. They're going to have to figure it out. When I say they, I think it's funny when people talk about this or this, they are doing this to us, or the they thing is funny to me because it's like, who are you talking about? So in this case, when I say they, I'm talking about like the NAR.
Absolutely.
Or the government. The government will step in and they'll start regulating at a high. So they and those governing people are going to figure out a way to make it work, where everybody gets representation, because they're not going to go backwards.
No, and it's not smart to do that. So,
or if they do, then I don't know how that would happen, but they might. I don't. Who knows how it's going to shake out? Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, we don't know. It's going to be a mess.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
So the best thing that I think we can do is just continue to love on our people and give them value and educate them and help them to move forward and whatever makes sense for them and their families to take whatever next step it is.
Right. I agree.
Cool. So do you have any last words on all of the things we've talked about today?
No, I don't have any last words. I think this was fun. I enjoyed it. I love talking about real estate. I love talking with you, Shay. This has been so amazing. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate having you on. You look wonderful. I miss being able to see you in person. Next time I'm in San Diego, which I travel a lot, so I'll hit you up and we can grab lunch or coffee or whatever. And
I'm going to do that. Don't just say that.
Well, I actually want some food. This foodie girl. I want to get some food.
Yes, well, we have to.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. Thank you all for tuning in today. Please join me next week on Tuesday for Sharpen the Saw, which, by the way, Danielle's going to be coming back on for the Sharpen the Saw. I don't remember what date, but
I think it's the 28th.
So we'll see her again soon. Yes. And thank you all for coming. We'll see you next week.
Have
a great day, all.
See you. Bye.